works for you to come and engage with the speaker and to become part of the community that we have started. And if you're curious to know the speakers who have already came to this platform and spoke about it, go on our Instagram and follow. All our speakers are listed over there. Now, who is gonna speaking today on this show? On this show, we have Coach Manal Naboulsi. Now, she is a life and relationship coach, personal growth specialist, motivational speaker, and PhD in business management. Now, she has been an educator for past 17 years and associated with different organizations from around the world and being spreading that education about self-love. And it's so fascinating about how her journey from being an academic oriented person has shifted to being an educator, and she has been into peaks at her career about communication, negotiation, and now spreading love, positive relationships into the world. So I am very much fascinated and to know much more deeper into what lies into this change, what has driven her to choose this path. So over to you, Coach Manal, to take us through the session. We'll be all here to listen to you, and I am really fascinated to know more about your story. One second. Yep.
Hello, Yash.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Yep.
And
Good.
I'm really happy to be today with you, just to talk about love and
Yep.
about something in Arabic, which is love, hub, because
Okay.
yeah, it's written in Arabic, hub, which is the love. Because without love, we cannot live. This is what I believe in. Self-love is really important for all of us. First of all, I really need to thank every person who joined us today in this empowerment talk. And it's the number 163 talk, isn't it?
Yep. Yep.
That's a good number. So I hope the 163 number would push you to, after that session, to work the love or the journey of love that you all deserve in this life. Really, this
True.
is one of the most important thing, because without love, I mean, love yourself and believing in yourself is the most important thing to start the journey of self-love. Everything starts within us, within what's inside from us, from loving what we are and from working on being better to ourselves. So in today's talk, I will let you learn and teach you practical ways, not only talking, not the theoretical way, the practical way and steps in the journey of self-love. So the first step towards loving yourself is understanding what love is, and the journey of self-love and discovering the self-awareness of what you're doing. So through it, you understand exactly your own thoughts, your beliefs, your system, how it's working in your mind, till you take action in believing in yourself and loving yourself and moving forward into that beautiful journey. So we're going to practice and to go towards the journey of self-love in a very beautiful way. And at the end of the session also, you will practice how changing your thoughts can change your life. And it will start by only focusing on what you are doing in your life. I will just guide you by practicing how you're thinking and what you should do to change your thoughts and what experience you will get whenever you start taking action plan on that. And at the end of the session, I will offer genuine gift for all of you. So
Oh,
let me start by sharing why I chose this topic, the journey of self love. Let me tell you exactly what happened. I had so many bad times in my life, some failures. I was really young, and my daughter was 3 years old, and I got in a field that I had no interest in at time, and in love and within myself. I didn't believe that I can do a change. And everything affected my self-confidence and my self-esteem. And I used to say to myself things like, I'm not good enough. I'm a failure. I won't be loved. And nothing would work in my life. Or I used to say also, I'm not enough in that. Or I am doomed not to have a person in my life that is good. So all of this, can you imagine how destructive all of these statements are? Can you imagine the voice in your head that judged me, doubted me, belittled me all the time? I had those limiting beliefs, those beliefs that I limited myself with all the time, the belief that limited my life from moving on, that stopped me from being the best of who I am, just because I used to say or talk to myself in a very negative way. And my mind thought I was doomed to this. So for a long period, I was like, there's nothing to change. And whenever I used to remember the past event, okay, the failures that I had in my life, or even the things that used to happen in my life, I used to relive the anxiety. I used to feel it in my body. I used to feel it in my heart. I used to panic. I used to have those heartbeat, and I used to panic physically, morally, and even emotionally. So those fears or those thoughts and doubts, those became autopilot. So they were like an autopilot in my mind, and they were able to bring physical and emotional strain to my life and to my experience in life. So so those thoughts became so much true that I believed them. And I woke up one day and said to myself, if my thoughts of past events can bring on pain and suffering, so they can also bring joy and happiness if I change them. If I were really fully to live my life, what would be the first thing that I could start to make or to do? If I can control my thoughts, I can choose to see the experience. Whatever I want to experience would be better. Whatever I want to have in my life would be better. Don't you agree with me? Say yes if you agree with me. Just say on the chat box, yes, you agree with that. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Yes, just type yes if you agree. If you can change your mind, can you change? If you can change your thoughts, can you change your life? Yes, we can. What can we do to do all of that? So, what is the major thing? What is the risk that you're going to take just to make passion in your life, just to make something new in your life? The journey of change begins with a leap of faith. You know what's a leap of faith? The leap of faith is accepting and believing something that is not believed. This is a leap of faith, the leap of faith. There's accepting and believing something that you don't believe. I don't believe that I can be loved. I don't believe that I'm worthy of love. I don't believe that I am good enough, but I need the leap of change for that to happen. So it took me a big leap of faith to decide to quit my job as an academic and as a university professor and begin with my journey in coaching and meditation and in the love journey and in forgiveness and all of this journey that led me to where I am now. So I am in love with that change. I am in love with what life taught me, even with the weaknesses, even with the things that happened in my past. I'm so cherished for all what happened in the past because it made who I am today. So you need to dare the challenges. You need to dare the social norms in that life. And you need to dare the risk and find the passion and turn it into a mission. Find a passion and turn it into what? A mission. So the leap of faith turned out to be beautiful, magical, and mesmerizing. So this is why I chose this topic to talk about the journey of self-love. I'm gonna give you the practical part of it. But first of all, let me share with you exactly what do you know about self-love. First of all the people would say self-love is just being sometimes selfish or not knowing or being egocentric. Let me explain to you what self love is. First of all, when we say self love, we don't mean by being so narcissistic or by being egoistic or by being having a high ego. It's not loving yourself in a way that you're stopping loving other people, or because you're the smartest, or because you're the most beautiful person, or the most talented person, or the most beautiful person in the world, even. This is not self love. Self love is that you're having a high regard for your own well being and happiness. You love yourself and you accept your weaknesses. Yes, all your weaknesses, you have to accept them for you to love yourself. It means taking care of your own needs, from your emotional, mental, physical needs. You have to know exactly what are these needs that would fill you up with love. Self love means settling up, not settling for less than what you deserve. So you have to know exactly what you really deserve. It's having compassion for yourself. And self love is giving yourself what your body, your brain, and your soul needs for this marathon of life. So, can you imagine how beautiful it is to really love yourself? This is the magical word. It's not only just regarding yourself as a high person. It's being treating yourself with compassion. It's knowing exactly what your needs are. So, to know exactly what you're doing, the first step towards self love is self awareness. Before doing any practice, you have to be aware of where you are, what you're doing, what's happening to you, what happened in your life. Self awareness is what? Self awareness is becoming intentionally aware of what's going on in your life. That is, you need to know exactly what's going on inside of you, what's happening to your mind, what's happening to your life, what's happening to your thoughts, what are the belief system that you have about yourself. So your beliefs, your feelings about yourself, all of these, they make who you are now. So I need to understand exactly what are the things that I think all the time. What do I say about myself? How do I appreciate myself? How do I think about myself? Do I say things like motivating things or negative things? So I need to know consciously and in an intentional way what I believe about every single thing about myself. So a belief is what? A belief is something that I believe in, something that I think is part of me. So in order to believe what I'm thinking, I need to know exactly what is that belief that I have for me. What is that belief getting me into? So that belief, is that belief serving me toward a certain connection and a certain way that I'm repeating it? A belief system would be anything that I believe in. It could be a negative belief or a positive belief. So you have to know exactly what are those beliefs inside of you. What do you believe about yourself? If you believe about yourself that you are good enough, how would be that good enough? What do you keep on repeating in your mind all the time? Do you keep on repeating in your mind words as I'm good, or I'm not good enough, or I love myself, or I hate how I look, or I hate how I am? What are those things that you believe about yourself? I want you to explore all of these. By exploring all of these beliefs, you could start knowing exactly what is the best thing that happens to you and how you think in a certain way. So, if you want to understand what's a belief is a thought that is repeated so frequently and with sufficient emotion attached to it that you accept as reality. Can you see how much this statement is really embedded in our mind? What is that belief about you? I used to say to myself, like, I'm not smart enough, or people don't like me, or I failed in a marriage, I'm going to fail again. Or I used to say to myself, I won't be loved, I don't deserve it. All of these became a belief. all of these things, they became a certain belief in my mind. So what do we have to do about that? We have to know exactly, as a first step, to learn about what those beliefs are. So I'm going to do an assignment with you, or it's a quick a quick thing for you to understand your belief system. I want you to put your pen down or whatever you're holding and close your eyes and take a deep breath. I want to try to explore a certain belief that you have inside of you. Just close your eyes and take a deep breath. And I want you to think of something that have been wanted, that you wanted to do, that you were unable. Think of something that you wish to have in your life or you wish to be in that life. Think of a limiting belief that limited you, a belief that has been stopping you from moving forward, from doing the things that you wish to do, but you couldn't because of that belief. Think of that belief. Try to think of it. Try to listen to that voice inside of you. What do you keep repeating or reminding yourself that you cannot do? What is it that you believe that keeps you from being fully yourself? Just repeat that belief in your mind. Like, I'm not good enough in that talk, or I'm not good enough to open my new shop, or I'm not good enough to love or to fall in love. Just think about that belief. Where do you feel it in your body? Located in your body. Try to feel it. Is it in your shoulders, in your stomach, in your heart, in your joints, in your legs? Where is it? Where do you feel that belief is having an ache, a certain agony? Where do you believe this belief is coming from? Who gave you that belief? Was it from the society, from a certain failure that happened in the past, from people, from family, from friends, from someone at school, from your parents? Who gave you that belief? From your spouse? How do you feel limiting yourself in your body with that belief? When you think about it, what happens? Do you get heartbeat? Do you sweat? Do you get a certain pain? Do you feel it? Emotionally, what happens? Do you get frustrated, angry, sad about that belief that you're not just trying to attain something better? Explore your emotion and your energy in that limiting belief. And I want you to become more conscious of that thought. Don't analyze it. I'm not over here to analyze or to change it. Just notice how your thought affect how you feel, and emotionally it affects your emotions and your body. Notice your thoughts. It will lead you to the direction for allowing your thoughts to change toward the positive. Just think in that belief for a few seconds. And when you're ready, open your eyes. If you have a paper, I want you to write down that belief that you thought about yourself. That limiting belief that you had about yourself, write it down. So we could remember how we can reframe it. This is a belief that is stopping you, from accepting yourself. You have been doomed and bounding yourself to that belief for a long time. And this is what is keeping you away from loving yourself. It's okay to have a certain belief, and it's okay to have certain things in life. It's okay not to be okay in life. But sometimes we have to take the challenge and remove all those beliefs. So what can we do about that belief? What is the first thing that comes to our mind when we say to ourselves that we are not good enough? The first thing that would come to our mind is, I say to myself, I'm like this, what can I do? Whereas, let me tell you about that mind. That mind is great in being rewired. That mind is great in teaching us a certain lesson. You know the story of the elephant and the rope? One of them the most empowering stories that I've ever heard. And I know that the author is unknown for that story, but there is a message beyond that. So when they used to train baby elephants not to escape, okay, so the trainers used to tie their leg, okay, with a small rope, and when the elephants would try to escape, the log would prove what to be stronger, and they give up, and the elephant will grow, and years would pass by, and the elephant would try to escape from that rope, and as they grow up, they are conditioned. Listen to that. They are conditioned to believe that they cannot break away. They believe the rope can still hold them, so they would never try to break free. Okay? And the elephant has become a prisoner of its past, and it has become a prisoner of its limiting belief. We are the prisoners of our struggles, and we are the prisoners of our challenges and limitations. So nothing from our past is in our present now except our limiting belief. So can you imagine? We're like that elephant. We grown up, we evolved, we have grow in a certain way that is really perfect, but we're still limiting ourselves to the belief of the past. So are you held back by old and outdated belief that no longer serve you? Ask yourself, how many times did you avoid trying to do something but you couldn't because of past thoughts? And how many times have you held yourself victim for your past thoughts? Or have you been held because of old failures, old love story that happened? You're not your past history, believe me, and you're not your past actions, and you're not how others tell you or have treated you. You're only who you think you are in that moment, today. It's now. You're only who you are today, right now, in that moment. So it's time to do to let go of that limiting belief. If you let go of that limiting belief, you start the journey of self-love. Because you know what? There's something that controls us, and the major thing that controls us, are one of the major things, are our thoughts. The thoughts, they really control who we are. They really control what we do. They really think that we are what we are because of our thoughts. So can you believe if our thoughts would control our emotions, and they would automatically control our physiological state, that would be what? A vicious circle. We're turning into a vicious circle, a negative thoughts with a negative feeling, with a negative posture, and it will be rotated. So what you think is what you become, and what you feel, you attract it, and what you imagine, you create it. So everything in that life is because of our thoughts. If we try to know exactly what we are thinking, this is where we start working. This is where we can do something about those thoughts. We can do something about changing them. Because what stops you from moving on is one thing, and it's fear. The fear of love, the fear of not good enough, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of success, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the society. All of these are part of what is limiting us in our mind. If you want to face that fear, what do you need to do? You need to understand what are those fears that you have. What am I afraid of? Something from the past, from reoccurring again in the present. So I'm anxious into I'm not living the present. I'm all the time either living in the past or anxious about the future. Loving myself is now. It's attached to what I am now. It's accepting exactly what happened to me in the past. It's knowing exactly that those fears and those limiting beliefs that I have been going through, these are normal. The only thing that keeps you from getting what you want is the old story that you have been that you have kept on telling yourself. William James said, If you can change your mind, you can change your life. Can you believe in that? I believe in it, and I've tried it. I've tried to change my mind. I've tried to change my thought, and I changed it for me to become what? To become the person that I want to become the person of love, to become the person that I need to upgrade myself, to love myself, to do something. So after knowing exactly the self-awareness, I need to move to a stage of self-talk. From self-awareness, knowing what I'm fearing, knowing my limiting belief, I need to understand that self-talk is really important for me to understand what I'm saying to myself, to understand what are the things that I'm saying to myself. Self-talk is what? It's a practice. It's really practice. It's the act or practice of talking to yourself, either aloud or silently, and mentally in a positive way. So words have a certain biomedical or biochemical effect on your body. So can you imagine the biochemical effect on that brain? The words have those effects. Your thoughts can create reality, and you control your thoughts. So take it upon yourself to control your reality, and everything will be fine. The negative self-talk would lead to a negative posture and would lead to negative belief in yourself. Whereas a positive self-talk would really let you move forward, and what would let you believe in yourself. If I say I can't do it, I don't know how to do it, I don't love myself, I hate life, just the word hate, I'm giving a message to the mind to do the negative. And when I give the message to that mind won't recognize what I'm saying as a reality, between reality and what I'm creating as unreal. So I'm living the bad dreams over here. Brain will believe what you tell him. So whatever you tell that brain, it will believe it. The strongest word in the universe is I am. It's not I can't or I don't or I'm not or I'm not good enough. It's I am. If you start any statement with I am, you're gonna start seeing the shift. Instead of saying I am not loved, I could say I am the love for myself. I am I am the divine creature that I can create for myself. So be aware of those limiting beliefs that you have in your life. You have to spot them. Just put that light on and spot all those limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. What are they? What am I talking about myself? Spot it, and you need to stop those beliefs. By stopping them, you need to reframe them. So you need to swap them. When I stop them, I swap them, I reframe them. So instead of saying all the bad things that I used to say, the statement that you have wrote, now you need to swap it. Instead of saying, I'm not good, I won't make it, I want you to reframe it now. Even if you don't believe in it, I want you to start working on it in a very positive way. Just try to look at that phrase that you wrote. How can you reframe it? And start with I am. I am power. If you think that you don't have power, just think I am power. If you think that you don't believe in yourself, how can you believe in yourself? I am believing in my strength. I am believing in my work. I am believing in every single thing in my life. Just think about those powerful words, how and what they can do to your life. So by swapping it, we move on to the best thing in the self love journey, which is journaling, writing, the same way that you're writing now. In the self love, there is one of the best journey for empowering practices, which is the journal. Journaling your self awareness, journaling all the levels that you're going through, journaling what you're thinking of, journaling the practice, how time consuming it is. It's not a click of a button. You won't love yourself in a day or a month. It will take time. It took me like 2 to 3 years to accept myself, to love myself, to challenge myself, to understand, to go with my emotion, to identify, clarify, and accept my thoughts and my feelings. So if I journal and I write down exactly what are the things, how my mood is improving, and what am I prioritizing in my life, what are my fears, what are my thoughts every day, what are the goals that I'm procrastinating, I'm not loving about myself. I track them in a journal, in a day to day. Okay, by tracking, I write down my thoughts and feelings, and I understand them more and more. I could go into my feelings, I could understand. I'm not afraid to go inside of myself. I'm not afraid to dig and to click on that feeling that was really numb for years. I need to feel the depression. I need to feel the anxiety for me to move it forward. I need to feel what I'm doing. I need to write it. When I write it, I recognize it more. I let my mind work on it more. And by doing that, all what you have to do is what? Get a journal, get an agenda, and start writing what you believe, what are your old beliefs, and so we could change them to new belief system. Changing them is by journaling them, by working on that journal. So journaling would help all your symptoms to improve your mood by prioritizing your fears, by tracking your symptoms, by recognizing your triggers, by providing an opportunity for your positive self-talk. So instead of saying or repeating all these negative self-talk, I need to repeat that empowering belief that I have. I am worthy of love. I am working on loving myself and loving my weaknesses and removing my weaknesses. If I keep on repeating all of these words, I can change that. I can change that very in a very fast way. Just remind yourself every day of your empowering belief. The more you write it and repeat it, the more your mind would start believing in it. So believe me, there are so many things. One of the major things also in journaling is the power of gratitude. The Harvard Medical School says gratitude is its thankful appreciation for what you have in your life. With gratitude, people acknowledge the goodness in your life. So, in that journal, when I start working and being grateful for what I am, for what I have in life, then I will start shifting and rewiring my brain. Every day, I rewire my brain to be grateful for what I have. By being grateful, you enhance your well being, you deepen your relationship, you improve your optimism, and you become really better physically and mentally. So, on an overall level, you have a better life by just writing every day 3 grateful things that you are grateful for. Like, practice the gratitude journal. What are you grateful for today? Right. I am grateful today for sharing this talk with the Empowerment Talks people that gives me lots of confidence. I'm grateful for the energy today that I have, that I'm appreciating my health. I'm grateful today for the roof over my top and the warm home. These are the gratefulness things that I have today. So if you keep on writing every day what you're grateful for, you're going to start having a morning ritual. And that morning ritual would help you towards the self love. And one of the major things after moving from loving the empowering your belief and the self awareness, practicing self talk and repeating that self talk, we need to work about the power of forgiveness. You need to realize deeply that forgiving or forgiveness is a practice as well as anything else. So when I was starting on my self journey, I was dealing with lots of shame, lots of regret about the past thing that I have done, the mistakes, the decisions. I was constantly criticizing myself about what I have done in the past and putting myself down all the time. So all my focus was what? On all the negative. I was constantly putting myself through intense, heavy anxiety feeling. And I need to let go of those feelings. I need to forgive myself. We don't hurt people intentionally, and we don't hurt ourselves intentionally. Or even if we do that, you can't torture yourself because of this. The journey of love is accepting yourself, and it's even removing your fears, and it requires courage, strength, and faith in yourself. And it also requires gratitude and forgiveness. So you need to have both in that life. You need to have the forgiveness. It's vital for your spiritual and for your growth. It's like healing. It's like healing your wound over here. Forgiveness starts from within you. So you can't give others if you don't have what you have for yourself. You can't give love if you don't love yourself. You can't give joy if you don't have self-loathing for yourself, and you can't forgive if you can't forgive yourself. So we all make mistakes. We can't live in the past. One of the major things is to live in the present and to understand that the past is in the past. You can't struggle with the past and you can't struggle with the future. You have to work with what is in the present. The best gift you have is now. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you are validating the act, but you are letting go of the power that it has in the past. So let go of that power. It's no longer validated now. So what is the act of forgiveness? It involves you. It involves you forgiving yourself. But when you tell me you cannot forgive other people for hurting you, we all got hurt by other people, and we will all felt guilty or hurt or anything. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you have to tell the other person that you forgive them. No, forgiveness isn't something you do for other person. You do it for yourself. So if other people hurt you and you kept that hurt inside of you and they forgot about that hurt, they're moving on in their life. You're just putting off life because of that hurt. Forgiving people who hurt you is a wonderful way for you to honor yourself. It affirms the universe and the planet that you and only you deserve that love, deserve that happiness. So the journey of forgiveness and gratitude can be best practiced when you learn to become more mindful, living the moment, living the present, and not wandering in the past or in the future. You can't change the past. However, you can learn from it. The now, the moment now is the only thing that you have control in. So be present, that is the gift. Be aware for the now to live your life. If you have past events that hurt you, we can work them out. You have just to let go of those events. So, from self awareness, self love is a self discovery, it's a self awareness, it's a belief system, it's a powerful practice for you to do. Just start by practicing it every day. It needs like a milestone for you to reach whatever you want, but baby steps. Believe in your baby steps. Believe in yourself that you can change it. When you examine them closely, when you examine those beliefs that you have, you can replace those beliefs with new empowering ones. And the more you believe in them, the more you repeat them in your mind. And when you repeat them in your mind, you believe them more in your body. And you start acting as if you are love. Your mind will be rewired. So your thoughts would create your reality. Believe me, you can control your thoughts. And it takes upon yourself to control your reality. So I want you to believe in empowering your new thoughts and increasing your happiness and loving yourself and creating healthy habits, repeating them every day with baby steps, practicing the journaling, practicing the gratitude journal, and lastly, live the moment because happiness is found in the now, and let go of the past hurt or the future worries. Be more mindful to be more happy now and appreciate what you love. And commit. I want you to commit today to one action plan today with me. After writing what your limiting belief was and reframing it, I want you to take one action plan now. Write what are you going to do as of today as an action plan that would start your journey of self-love. What is the thing that you're going to do? Are you going to start journaling, the gratitude journal? Are you going to repeat that word or the empowering belief every day? Are you going to read things that would empower you? What is one action plan that would lead you to what you want to become? Write it down now. Commit yourself to it. Once you love yourself, believe me, and treat yourself with love and respect, other people would love you and treat you with love and respect. And all it takes is what? Awareness and action plan. So I'm giving you this opportunity now to love yourself more, to take that action plan and guide you through implementing it. I'm gonna give you all the chance to share with me that action plan by sending me an email or a direct message on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. Share with me that action plan and quote the self-love journey challenge. I'm going to send you a challenge for you to do every day, for you to practice self-love, because you've been with me and you've stayed till the end of that session. I'm gonna provide you with a self-love journey challenge. All what you have to do is send me your action plan. What would it be? And together I'm gonna shape with you an action plan for you to do it on a daily basis. What do you think about it? Yes.
Thank you very much, Manal, Dr. Manal, for this amazing, lovely session. I'm totally awe with what you have spoken about because being hosting Empowerment Talks for a long time, the things that have been told again and again, again and again, and again and again, but they are so important for every one of us to understand the self-awareness, the
Exactly.
self-talk, the forgiveness, the gratitude journaling, and every other thing that brings in so much of, you know, the self-love aspect and the whole aspect of enjoying and being in the present rather than being they're anxious about the future or being depressed about the past. Now, straight away, I'll jump into a couple of questions with
Yes.
you, and then we'll straight away jump into the questions with the audience. Now, one of the aspects that happen is the you mentioned about the vicious cycle that was again the thoughts, the emotions, and your physiological state, and you
Mm.
go into that, you go into that, and you keep on revolving into that. But somewhere there is something also that recently I've heard that there is a term that is known as fake motivation. So you keep on telling yourself, you keep on telling, I'm like, how do you validate you that you are becoming better day by day? Because I am working on something. Like, what is the proof that I am a better person than I was 6 months back? What is the proof that I was a better person than I was 1 year back? Who is gonna give you that validation that you have become a better person? Is it your friends? Is it your family? Or is it you yourself that you're just loving who you are currently, irrespective of whether you are loving yourself then or not?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. Okay, let me start by saying that whatever we do in life is in a constant change. Okay, who's validating what I'm doing or the changes? First of all, so before waiting for validation, I need to put a smart goal. I need
Yeah.
to put a smart goal that would move me forward. What would I want to become in a year from now? Or what would be my intention of the day? Or my intention of the month? Or my intention of the year? What would be my goal in a year or in 5 months? Where would I want to be? Would I want still to have to be a coach with coaching let's say 20 clients per month or more? So I need to have a smart goal, specific, measurable, attainable, time bounded, and realistic. When I have a smart goal, this is where I see myself that I'm achieving better. Okay, there is nothing statical. There is nothing that is not moving. We are either moving or we die. So I believe in that evolution. So I need to put an incentive for me. For today, let's say when I journal every day, I put an intention for the next day. I put a plan for the next day. Tomorrow it will be a day for helping people out. So when tomorrow comes, I see myself helping people. That would validate what my
Wow.
thought of helping other people. When I start tuning to what I want, or what are the things that would make me a better person, and every day I use something new, and every day I create something better, and I put a positive intention to reward myself. Okay, this is on a bigger level validation.
Yeah, but that's a very beautiful thought, and I think a lot of thing for the audience also to take away. Like we generally write about what we are gratitude journaling about, and we always write about the positive affirmations about I am this, I am this. But this
Exactly.
specific small thing that she mentioned about being tomorrow, I'm gonna be helping someone or tomorrow, and if you're able to achieve that, that itself gives you so much of happiness and validation. That's a very valid point made.
Exactly. Just
Now,
ask yourself, what would make my day better? What is one thing that would make my day better in a smart way, in an achievable way? I can create so many things, and I can validate myself. Even sometimes other people would be waiting for other people to validate them, depending on the needs that you have. Sometimes I would wait for other person to see what I'm doing. So it depends on each of the person. This is something that it's not general. So depending on your needs, you take your validation from yourself, or from your parents, or from your colleagues, depending on how much your needs are significant to others.
so there is this fad about term that is called as overthinking. Okay, and people say you are overthinking on it. You should avoid overthinking. You should be, but at the same time, your mind comes with hundreds of thousands of thoughts on every single day, and you can't avoid coming off those thoughts. So when does those thoughts becomes overthinking? Like, what's the line between those that okay, I'm overthinking about it, when does you realize it, when it like
Yeah,
because it is meant to come into my head, but is
yeah.
it a overthinking thought or it's just a normal thought?
Okay. So we have 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the average per day, which is 2,300 per hour of thoughts. So if you are thinking a lot in a negative way, okay, that would affect what? Not only yourself and your physicality and your emotion, it would affect each aspect of your life. Like if you're at work, those thoughts would be, if they are negative, they would be affecting even, and you won't have the energy for the work, for your social work, for your social life, for your energy, for your gym and everything. So we need to, as I said, have a self-awareness, okay, to decrease all these thoughts that are negative and increase them with empowering one. We need to sit with ourselves. We need to be more mindful. We need to exactly write them down. We need to see exactly how many of these thoughts are affecting my life and on daily basis. We need a certain turnover. Okay, that turnover won't happen unless I am in control of those automatic negative thoughts. We call them negative automatic thoughts. The not thoughts are negative automatic thoughts that are automatic in our mind. So our unconscious is so fast in giving us all these negative thoughts because they became so many, and they are autopilot. The thing is to write them down, is to sit with ourselves, to meditate, to be more mindful, to write all these thoughts where they are. To stop them, I need to take the challenge. I need to repeat to myself, even if I don't believe in them, even if I don't believe in the new thought. I need, because that mind has been practicing those thoughts for so many years. So the mind only uses 5% of the energy per day. So if you're going to give something to the mind as a new challenge, and the mind is used to something old, It will just tell you, okay, I'm not used to that. I'm not in a good mood to do that change. I'm gonna go to the old me, and the old me would go back and get back the old thoughts. So I have to have a challenge. If we keep on repeating that challenge, we would reach something new.
I think so. I've recently read this book that is launched by Jay Shetty. That is like a Think Like a Monk, and that is all about the peace and calmness. How can you can find it? And I highly recommend that book for all the audience because that is. So I've been like ardent follower of him, and I just wanted his book to be launched, and that exactly speaks about the lines that you have spoken about. Now, speaking about you, Coach Manal, is you have been. Into corporate world, corporate jargon, and learning, doing the PhD in business management, doing those negotiations and all, and from there shifting into where you are now a lifelong preacher, going about spreading the words about relationships, about love, and how has been that shift, and to or a bit deeper, why that shift?
Okay. Why that shift? Because I've been first when I've started my career, it was a family job. It was a family business, and I started with my father in the academic. So this is why I went into the PhD, doing business with him, and academically, I was a professor in the university over here, and I was the vice president for academic affairs as well as a partner in Lebanon and Beirut and the university here. But after 20 years, 20 years of doing a job that is you got you got raised to, and you open your eyes and you saw that job in front of you, and they told you you have a certain thing, you have to take that job, and it's your baby. Okay, so they labeled me, they put a label on me, and that label stayed with me for 20 years. And I thought, for 20 years, I thought I cannot do something better than this. I thought this is my barrier. This is where I fit. And everyone, all the family, all the people that I've worked with, they were all waiting for me to see exactly how I'm working in that academic. One day, I sat with myself and I was like, what's then? I'm not happy. I'm doing this just to please other people. I'm doing this to please my father, to please my family, to please the society that I'm living in. But I'm not happy. I'm not doing something with love. I'm not going to work loving what I'm doing. I need passion more. I need to turn something into a passion, passion into a mission. So I started the self-discovery, the self-awareness journey for like few months. I wanted to discover, to coach myself, to see exactly what am I good in. If I'm not good enough in the academic and in teaching, where am I? What are the things that I would love to experience? I always had this love of helping other people, but in what way? Is it in counseling? Is it in beautiness or what? So I started self-discovering and seeing exactly where I am, till I found out that life coaching is a powerful self-love tool. As you recognize the current desires, and the create action plan to accomplish life, and it can benefit from a fresh start, as it started with me. So I've shifted my work from being academic to a life coach, to a career coach at first, because I was so much into the career and academic. And then I said, okay, look at yourself. You have been going through so many struggles. Heal yourself, love yourself, let the people around you learn from what you have been struggling in this life, from all the failures, from all the struggles, from all this label that the society gave you. I need to remove that label. Okay, I need to remove that I am a strong woman. I could be strong today and weak tomorrow, and loving today, and I could be whoever I really want to be. It's not about the society who labels you. It's you who give that vision. I could be whoever I want today, and I need to accept myself. I need to accept my weaknesses. So that led me to the coaching and to the opening the coaching lounge, where I wanted to provide the people with changing their life. That's it. not being stuck with a
But
label.
if that gives you that much of satisfaction, and if that gives you that much of relief, and you can go to the bed and with the thought that you have accomplished something, that is
Exactly.
best life to live, right? So
Yeah.
thank you very much, Dr. Manal, for having a conversation with me on the show. But before I put it up onto the audience, I want to know from you, how was your feeling coming to the show and having this talk with our wonderful audience, with our YouTube audience, and with some beautiful words for our platform?
Well, it was a very mesmerizing experience. Just talking about love with
Uh,
all of you and sharing that experience, it gives me so much confidence in myself. Sharing all of this would give you push for you to love yourself more, for you to understand that there's nothing wrong in this life, that the longest relationship you could have ever have is with yourself. So this gave me more belief in what I want to achieve more. I still have so many things to achieve on a daily basis. I still have so many things to believe in as I'm doing and sharing with you on Empowerment Talk. This gave me a great belief that anyone can do it. Believe me, I've changed. I've changed myself, so anyone could change. I always thought that I am unchangeable, unbreakable. I would never change. I'm doomed to be like this. But believe me, when I saw the changes in me, I was like, wow, anyone can do it. Anyone could start that journey. So go ahead, give yourself permission.
and that's the message for the audience, that anybody can start your journey, and it can
Yeah,
start anytime. For her, it was after 20 years of a corporate job,
exactly.
academic,
Exactly.
and for you, it can be today. It could have been in the past, but still, there's a long life ahead in the future. So take that step, take that plunge, and as she mentioned, that your journey of change begins from the leap of faith. So thank you
Yeah.
very much, all the YouTube audience who have joined us, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel right there, right below.